How's everybody feeling? Good, good. My name is Teyanna Stone. I am the social vendor coordinator for PS14. On behalf of, PS14, I just want to thank you all for coming. This is our first in-person event, and it means the world that you guys are here, and also that the one and only Juan is our first featured artist to be featured in the space. So can we give it one more time for Juan also? Yeah. So first things first, we just want to also give a quick shout out to PCCD for this opportunity and this grant, giving us the space and the finances to, support Juan and be able to collaborate together in this experience. So thinking about what PCCD does in terms of, gun violence prevention and stuff like that, Juan, what does that mean to you, especially in the city as well?
I mean, it's a problem, but I don't know what we can do to kind of remedy it from happening so much. Cause it's like it's no respect from the youth now to the older people, and it's like no accountability at home. So it's like if you go from home not respecting nobody, you go outside not respecting nobody. Some dumb stuff is bound to happen, and then when it's too late, now everybody wants to react it after the fact. Like so, I think it needs to start more at home. Like the homes need to be more balanced or in stable conditions. Honestly.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I think also too, just like us being in community together at this time, at this space right now is like really, really important as well. So thank you for creating all of this amazing art and giving us the space to just absorb it and be a part of it. So kind of getting into the art portion, I guess everybody wants to know, what is your inspiration as a photographer? What inspires you to keep going and create? Because you have, such an amazing vision. So,
Honestly, I'm not really artistic. I am now, I guess. We're here. But I really did this out of just to get out of my own way as far as, depression and stuff like that I was dealing with. I found a way to, I don't do something with my time. I could have been a knucklehead and just doing dumb stuff because I was angry and all that type of stuff. But then I found photography, so it kind of got me out the way and made me open my eyes to a lot of new things, meet new people, because I don't like talking to people. So this is kind of crazy, but whatever. But it made me be uncomfortable and try something new because the old stuff wasn't just working. So I guess that's what the main thing it did for me.
yeah, love that, love that. Kind of going back a little bit, I am curious. I feel like you told the story before, but I think it would be beneficial for us all to know, how did you get introduced to photography? If there's a clear, quote unquote clear, because we're artists, so there's never nothing.
No, but
clear.
to say it wasn't really clear. It was kind of my cousin died, really bad depression. I didn't know what I was going to do. And then my homie, who's like a trainer, he started getting me to work out and stuff. So I was like, all right, he's an entrepreneur though. And I noticed that he wasn't taking pictures of his stuff, but he was trying to get out there and market it. So I was like, let me take the pictures for you and do stuff like that. And that became cool to me to do. And then I was like, I kind of like doing this photography stuff. So then I also wanted to do a clothing line, shirts and stuff like that. My man got stuff over there.
Shout out.
So it was like I wanted to do that, but now I fell in love with the process of actually taking pictures. So it just kind of went from there. And then the reaction I got from people that didn't, when I told them about it, it was kind of yeah, all right. And then they seen the work and it was like, oh, all right, he really serious. So that kind of thing, it was I wasn't used to that type of attention. It's usually I'm not a screw up, but I'm not doing a whole lot of other things or whatever. So it's now I got something parents can be proud of, stuff like that. And just people in general, so That's kind of gets me focused for that type of thing, I guess. But now I just shoot because I like it. Like I like creating things. I like trying to make people think sometimes or make people feel something. Either be good, bad, or indifferent. Like with my art, I don't care what you feel. I just want you to feel something. I don't want you to come in and be like, oh, all right, and then just walk away from the picture. Like I want you to like wonder like why did I shoot that? Or if it makes them feel a way, make them feel happy, sad, whatever. That's what art is to me. It makes you feel something. It makes you feel alive, honestly.
Yeah, love that, love that, love that. So, I guess going on the theme of tonight in the garden, a lot of beautiful, beautiful, flower pictures, being in nature, and also kind of like, I mean, back here, kind of like the clash between like nature and also just like, our living habitat. So, what was your inspiration for this exhibit, and then also just in general? Because I mean, you take a ton of amazing, amazing flower and photo videos. I mean, not videos. I'm sorry, photos. So, what's your process for that?
Flowers were easy to shoot when I get like have a depressive episode, because you don't really like being around people. You don't really want to talk and do anything, and flowers don't talk. But I could also like they just really were calming, like especially if it like just rained or whatever. So like a lot of my pictures have water drops on the flowers because that's like a calming type of thing, and I can kind of like relax, and it kind of gets me out my bad space or whatever. Like I can just zone out for like an hour, sometimes 2 hours, and just shoot all day, and I don't have to worry about anything or anybody getting in my way, especially where I shoot at.
Dope, dope. And then, along with a lot of the photos, I mean the flower photos that we also have some, city landscape, some awesome, awesome art. What's your process for like finding places and going into spaces and taking photos?
Honestly, it's just me going outside. I used to try to go out and have like, oh, I'm gonna shoot a dope sunset today, or I'm gonna shoot this dope thing today, and then I never did it. I would always just find something else. And then I was looking at videos of other dope photographers, and they were just like, you gotta feel it. Like it just has to have a feeling. Don't go out with a plan because you end up with nothing. So I would just go out and just whatever catches my attention, that's what I would shoot. So I would say like, oh, I want to get a dope. All my sunset pictures you see, they weren't planned. Like it was kind of like, oh snap, this is happening right now. So I have to like pull over or, yo, stop right here real quick. I gotta shoot this. Like it's always spontaneous. So like all the things I see is just like, oh, that might be dope. And I might shoot it, and I might not even edit it for like another 2 or 3 months. I'll just shoot it because it seemed interesting at the time. And then one day, usually 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, because I don't sleep, I have the urge to edit, and then I'll just start trying to create stuff, and then all this happens.
I love the idea of like the spontaneous nature, because I mean, me as a creative, I feel like surrendering to that can be a whole process. Do you feel like that spontaneous nature for you came naturally, or did you have to work towards that?
Nah, it came kind of naturally. Like cause I usually I don't sleep now, so like I had to find something to do to get myself to calm down. Like my mind would just keep shifting and wouldn't stop. So with editing or just working on stuff and trying to make new presets for pictures and stuff like that, I do that for long enough, then I'll like, all right, I get tired. Because now my mind's like, all right, you worked, you did enough. All right, now it's time to chill. But it ends up being like 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's just like, all right. But no, it's just like really, it just happens. Like once I start getting into that artistic mode, I got to shoot something. I have to create something because you don't always feel creative. You don't always, like every day, I don't shoot every day. But I can do a show for like a year straight. Like, because I have that much stuff. Because when I do get in that mode, I'm shooting a bunch of stuff. I don't know if it's going to be good or not. I just shoot it and we'll figure it out later. But I'm feeling creative, so let's go while I'm still feeling in the mood. Because when you don't get in the mood, you don't do anything. I don't feel like going downtown to shoot. I don't feel like doing this or that or third. So it's like when you feel it, you gotta act on it. Because that's when all your good ideas or your better pictures come out. When you try to force it, like, all right, I have to shoot every day. then you're just looking at the same stuff and it doesn't hit the same. So now it's just like you're getting mad, then you like burn yourself out trying to be this machine. Like it's not like that, and that's what people got to understand. Like it's not. I know people make it seem cool. Like I shoot every day on Instagram. They probably lying, probably mostly. But like sometimes it's like burnout is a real thing, especially for creatives, because in this society or an IG world or social media world, period, it's like you can post a picture and it's dope, and it can be your best work for that time, and then tomorrow we need the best work again, and then tomorrow we need the best work. Like, fam, nobody does that. Like, look at any greats; they didn't have just consecutive hits. There's a lot of misses in there, but you don't get to see them because by the time they did, they didn't pick through all that. All you see is the greatest evers, and it's like you missed all the time when they were trash. You didn't see those pictures. Like everybody goes through that process. Everybody thinks, "Oh, I just shot and I'm just great automatically." Like, no, you wasn't. Me and my homies talk about it all the time. Like we used to post each other's bad pictures. Like, yo, what was we thinking when we shot these shows? To look at what we do now, like you don't see it in the moment. It probably was the greatest thing we ever shot. But now when we see how we shoot now, we like, yo, what? How? Why was people even liking this stuff? Like that's how I feel about certain stuff. But we're also our worst critics. We're harder on ourselves than anybody else. So I might hate a picture and all that, and people be looking at me like, if you don't bring this to the show, like, what are you talking about? Like. But I'm my worst critic, so that's also a thing for creators they got to work through.
Yeah, I can definitely feel and attest to that. But I'm interested, like, you mentioned, like, how you've evolved in terms of your photos and stuff like that. So could you dive deep into how you think your elevation as an evolution as an artist has changed over the years? Because you've been doing this for a long time.
I mean, honestly, I just feel like you're never not gonna learn. It's like there's no ceiling to this. So once you think you like mastered it, it's like that's pretty much you're done. You're about to burn out, because there's always something else happening. It's always some new technology happening. It's always just new things you like. I might have a color phase I might go to. Like I like my pictures to be a little more greener because I like cinema, movie stuff like that. Or I might make it faded out a little bit more. Like you just always, your mind's always going like, what's next for me? And I'm always trying to figure it out. So sometimes it be hit and miss. I'll post it like they're like, what is that? I'm like, I'm trying something new. And then it'd be like, but then I'll keep working on it till it becomes what you see. And it's like, oh, now I get it. But it takes a while sometimes. So you just got to always remember, like, there's no end when you're being creative. Like, there's always something else you can try to do. And always experiment. Like, don't be afraid to experiment with stuff. Like, try stuff out. Try different color palettes. People always want to copy and paste what's popular. But we're artists. We dictate what's popular. They come to see us. You're not going to see them, so why you got to acquiesce to what they think is... If they knew it was dope, they'd be doing it.
Exactly.
So it's like you got to pay attention to that and don't fall for it because you see somebody getting a bunch of likes. Because you don't even know if they're real likes. People buy likes, people buy followers, people buy all this type of stuff to make it seem like it's something. And it'd be a whole smoke and mirrors. And you out here trying to chase smoke and mirrors thinking that and the whole time they pump faking and just trying to fake it till they make it. And most of them don't even make it. So it's like, just do your thing and don't worry, like run your race. Don't worry about what nobody else is doing. Create what you want to create, and the right audience will see it. You're not talking to everybody when you post your pictures. You're talking to people that understand what you're doing. It might be small now, but it gets larger. When I first started, I had like 100 followers. I don't have 10,000 now, but I had way more than I did before. To the fact that I could do a solo show and it be cool and people come out. Like I've done a couple joints. I did a galleries. I've done other stuff that most people haven't ever done, but yet they have 500 likes and 15,000 followers. But ask them to put a show on. And you have 4 people in this joint because most of them people are bots. So it's like, just run your race. Don't worry about what nobody else is doing because they ain't worried about you. So you just gotta be true to yourself.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And kind of going off on like your sense of, being spontaneous, I feel like you're also really in tune with like wanting to try things new. You mentioned it before. Like, was that like a process in terms of like, you know, always being true to yourself, or was that something that you had to grow towards?
I mean, just talking with other photographers that I respected, like you bounce ideas off people and you see what works. You just got to try it. You can't be afraid to try something. You have to fail to succeed. So you can't just think, once I shoot, this is going to be the greatest thing ever every time I shoot it. You have to go through some type of trial and error to see if the angle works. Sometimes the angle might be trash. It might be a good picture, but you took it at a bad angle, so now the picture's trash. So you might have to shoot the same picture 7, 8 times from different sides, angles, and stuff like that. You might miss focus. So you never know what you're gonna get. So you just have to try it. Don't be afraid of it being not good. Go back out there and figure it out. Why is it not good? You got to ask yourself those type of questions. Like, all right, it didn't work, but why didn't it work? All right, maybe I shot it too high. Let me go underneath and try to shoot it from a low angle. All right, maybe the low angle's trash. So let me try it from the side angle. Like certain stuff, you just got to be not afraid of trying stuff. And you have to fail. I hate when people just think it just works just because you wanted to do it. No, it's not how none of this works. Nobody's just gonna come in your DM saying, I got 100,000 for a picture of yours and all that type of stuff. You have to go outside. That's me and my homie's favorite line. Like, y'all be wanting opportunities, but y'all be sitting in the house. What's coming to you? Nothing. And then you see every people making moves and doing stuff. Oh, I want to do what y'all do. But do you? Do you want to come outside and shoot every day knowing you might not get a dope pic? Because I've done that. I've done that with people. And everybody, oh, we want to be like y'all. But do y'all? Because I don't see y'all putting in half the work. But y'all want all the spoils that we do. So we get opportunities because we're outside. We meet people. So I had to learn that. Like, ain't nobody coming to, yeah, you nice, but who knows you? Like, so who's going to come you just hoping somebody sees one of your pics? You're going to be waiting for a long time. Then you got to make opportunities happen for yourself sometimes. And just by being outside, you never know who you're going to meet. This happened because I outside with my friends and I met certain people and then he knows certain people. If I'm sitting in the house, that never happens. Like, they don't know me. They don't have to say nothing for me. But you build relationships and stuff like that. They'll bring your name up when you're not around. So now, all right, I got to come outside now because they done already talked about me. I had homies, yo, I done told people about your prints. Bring some prints when you come out here. And every time I came out there, I sold something. Like, not one time did I not sell anything. But I got to come outside for that. I can't say I want to sell prints and just be in the crib like, oh, so y'all got to call me and wait for me. Like, no, that's not how it works. You got to be at a show. You got to meet somebody. Because your friends and your family that's not your base for people you want to sell to. That's not your consumer base. It's going to be strange and stuff like that. If your friends buy stuff off you, that's dope. That's a bonus. That's not your consumer base. Because if that's what you're thinking, you finna be broke. Because they don't owe you. Like, everybody's not going to just buy your stuff because they know you. You also have to have good work. I know a lot of friends that, yeah, you do it, but is it good? I'm not just buying it because I know your name. So it's like you got to really ask yourself, do you really want this type of stuff? Well, that's why I ask myself, like, do you really want it? And then you know what you got to do to get it. So it's like, are you prepared to put that type of pain in? And if you're not, then find something else to do.
Yep, is what it is. Yeah. So I guess kind of maybe closing things out, what do you think is next for you in terms of your artistry and where you want to go with your photography?
I want to do more solo shows because I was like, for a while, people have been asking me like, when you gonna do a show by yourself? And I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. And tonight kind of, yeah, you are ready for it. Like, you probably been ready for it, but you were scared to take the leap. So yeah, I would do shows with other artists and stuff like that because like, all right, if you don't like my stuff, it's a whole bunch of other people y'all gotta work and see and stuff like that. But it's a solo show. That's if they don't like your stuff, where they going? They going home. Like they not staying long. So it's like you gotta make sure you have your stuff tight. But I think I'm at that point where I can do solo shows or group shows or whatever. I just like being in show atmospheres because I get great responses from my pictures for the most part. Like I don't think I ever bombed out at a show. So it's like, it's not an arrogant thing. It's just like, just what happens. Like you got to have confidence in your stuff. That doesn't mean I'm not nervous every time I have a show. Because tonight could have been that. It could have been like, these flowers is cool, but I've seen it all before. I'm cool. But it wasn't. So it's like, you get nervous. That means you still want to prove something. So like for me, the next thing I want to prove is probably a gallery in New York or something like that. Something major like that. That's like my next one. I already did a gallery here. But I want bigger and better shows, stuff like that to give the people. And like I want to try different pictures that might ruffle feathers more so than the usual pics. But I want to try it though. I want to see how far I can take this. Cause I've seen other dope photographers do certain things. And I'm just like, once you've seen it done, it means it can be duplicated. So you can do it in your own way because you've seen somebody else actually have shows and have exhibits in certain places and major markets and stuff like that. And I was told, like, before when I was young, when I first started getting in, it's like Philly's not really that place for you to do art like that. They don't really. So I kind of was like, I'm gonna see about that. Because I'm from here. Like, if I can't get people from here to, what are you going to do outside then? So it's like, I like to take certain challenges on with that type of stuff when it comes to being a creative.
Dope. Love to hear it. Do you have any last words or thoughts for the people, Juan?
Just be you and be prepared to fail a lot. But it'll work out in the end. If you're really true about it, you'll figure out how to succeed through the failures.
Awesome. Can we give it up for Juan? Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you all for staying for that little interview. Thank you again to Juan for putting on this amazing show. We're going to keep things moving. But yeah, continue to chill, hang out. And yeah, thank you for coming, you guys. It's been a pleasure. So yeah, thank you.